guys, it's Jonathan over at American Off-Road Customs. I want to take a minute and talk about this XJ that we just finished up, getting ready to go home today. This thing, if you can't tell, is pretty massive. So cool project here that we did. This thing is on 42-inch tires. The customer bought this thing with 1-ton axles on it, but it didn't really run, and it was on still kind of the original suspension, so he wanted to make it into a much better crawler. So he provided us with a long arm suspension system, coilovers, and then on top of that we also wanted to upgrade the power. So we took out the old engine that was in this and we put in an inline 6 stroker motor from S&J engines to give this thing a lot more power, so it's got the torque to be able to spin these things. And so it turned into be a really cool project. So a lot of cool things on this. It actually has a GenRight fuel tank in this, but to increase the axle clearance, we raised it up. So if you look underneath, it is almost not even noticeable under here because it is raised up, and the bottom of the tank is pretty much flush with the floor. So some of the stuff that the owner is going to do once he gets it back home is he's going to get rid of this bumper that's back here, which this is kind of broken already anyway, and do some stuff to make it better clearance so that he can really make this thing into a really functional crawler and get really good departure angles and stuff like that. So in the back, we custom fabricated the coilover mounts to be able to support these 14-inch coilovers in here. So there's a mount for the reservoirs. You can see the fuel tank in there, which we put a filler neck in the back area there. There's also custom, basically, inner fender liners that we made to allow clearance for these tires, because to make room for these, we had to basically cut all this stuff out, and there was a giant hole in there, so we made new plates to fill that all in, so that way it's as sealed up as possible. And there's still a little hole from the coilover going through, but it's about as sealed as it can be. Then up front, similar kind of stuff going on. So we modified the fender wells, cut a bunch of stuff, banged a bunch of stuff out of the way to be able to get clearance for these tires. So this thing will flex all the way to its limits, full turning of the tires and everything like that, and not actually rub on any of the part of the body. So it's actually fully functional and ready to hit the trail as it sits right now. We got the coilover towers in the engine bay and fabricated a crossmember support to be able to mount the reservoirs up here. Then this is the stroker motor in here. Now the nice thing about these is because it's still the original style block and heads, all the other accessories and all the other things that go with that engine still fit and look and work properly. All the internals are what's changed. So this thing has a performance cam in it. The stroker, what that means is it's basically more travel from the piston on the downstroke and upstroke. It moves further through that range of motion, and that essentially gives you more displacement. So it gets, because it's pushing down and it's pushing that crank further around, it gives it more leverage, so you get more torque out of this, which is really what the strokers are all about. So that's really what is nice about these, and doing that is you get that benefit mostly in the torque side. You do get a horsepower gain as well, but torque is where it really counts. So that's huge on there for that. So overall, this thing should be a lot more fun than it was, being that it was on like 35s, I think, before, and stock suspension. Now we're on 42s and stroker, coilovers. Can't wait to see this thing and its finished, result with new bumpers and all that stuff, and out on the trail. So if this is something that you want to do or you want to build, make sure you hit us up and see what we can do for you.